visit, every conversation, and every one of the 6,500 plus 5-star Google reviews our customers have written. Our field experts aren't just trained to handle pests. They're trained to treat your home, your family, your pets, and your time with the kind of respect you deserve. And our services come with a pest-free guarantee. Our methods and service just work better because our people are better. So if you want a pest control company you can trust in and around your home, give us a call. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
I think we're all counting down the hours until the NFL is back in our lives. Welcome in the Thursday edition here of the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. A dark and gloomy day outside. I noticed that driving in this morning. It was raining by me, pouring by me last night. Looks like some more rain in the forecast today. I am not going to allow the weather to disrupt the good mood that we are all in today because football is back on the menu.
I think there was a rumor that like a hurricane is hitting Mexico, so we may catch the edge of that.
It was raining a lot last night. Looks like it's going to rain today. Again, not going to allow that to get in my way of excitement for football being back on the menu. We've got a lot of football today on the show. We have our awards predictions, our Super Bowl picks. There's a 180 from yesterday, some rumblings about using some points on the Thursday night game for the pick segment. Could be rumored to happen at some point throughout the course of the show. We've got the pre-week 1 power rankings. But before we get into all of that, I want to start with the baseball. I want to start with Zac Gallen because the Diamondbacks might have a little bit of a problem on their hands.
Top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
It was another great night, or great afternoon, I guess is a better way to describe it. Another great start for Zac Gallen in what has been a string of great starts since the trade deadline. 7 times since the trade deadline, Zac Gallen has taken the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he's sporting a 4-1 record with a 2.20 ERA. Ace-like numbers from Zac Gallen since the trade deadline. Since the Diamondbacks went full-blown sale mode, held on to Zac Gallen because they didn't like the offers that they got, knowing that they could put the qualifying offer on him. He's gone 4-1 with a 2.20 ERA in 7 starts, and his last 2 starts have been brilliant. 6 scoreless in each of his last 2 appearances for the Diamondbacks. He's been an ace. There is no argument that over his last 7 starts, this is the Zac Gallen that we expect to see on the mound. This is the Zac Gallen that we all want to see on the mound. And let's face it, this is the Zac Gallen that the Diamondbacks should make every effort to bring back for next season. There, I said it. The Diamondbacks should make it a priority right now to work out a long-term contract extension with Zac Gallen. He is showing you over these last 7 starts that he has not grown tired of Arizona. This is not a case of him needing a change of scenery and needing new voices to tell him things in order to get back to being the pitcher that we all know he can be, because he's doing it in Arizona. He's doing it with the same voices who have been talking to him all season long, and he has been dominant over the last 7 starts. And this is a guy the Diamondbacks need in this rotation next year. And so I want to make the case to all of you today that for a team that this year, payroll of $187 million spent on players, not luxury tax money, but actual dollars handed out to players, a payroll of $187 million. Going to see that number go down to about 106 right now is the running tally for next season before they've made any additions. And we know they're not going to be able to spend $187 million. I think I would make it a priority, if I was Mike Hazen, to use a large chunk, if not all, of the money available to me to get Zac Gallen back. And here's why I feel so strongly about this today. His recent stretch of play obviously matters in all of this. He's pitching like an ace. And I don't even think if you signed him to a long-term contract extension that you need him to pitch this well next season. Would be great. I think it would change how we feel about where this team can go next season if you're going to get this Zac Gallen every 5 days. But I don't think he needs to be this good to warrant bringing back next season. He just needs to be better than he was in the first half, and he's been that since the trade deadline. But the other reason why I would throw the money at Zac Gallen is you're going to have limited resources this offseason. I don't know what the final number is going to end up being. I don't know what exactly Mike Hazen is going to have to spend. I just know it's not going to be a lot. I know it's not going to be the type of money he's been throwing around the last couple of seasons. So he's going to have to be very deliberate and precise in who he goes after. So why wouldn't you choose to allocate most of, if not all of the resources that you have at your disposal on a guy that you know extremely well? You're not throwing a dart at the dartboard, picking a starter in free agency that you don't know really anything about. A starter that you're guessing that inside of your system, in your building with your coaching, is going to be the best version of themselves. Why not bet on the guy who has been the best version of himself with you, has been the best version of himself right now for you? Why take the risk on signing somebody in free agency and giving them maybe a medium-term deal, and you don't know how they're going to pitch in Arizona? I know how Zac Gallen is going to pitch in Arizona. I know how Zac Gallen is going to deal with the ups and downs of the baseball season. I know what Zac Gallen is about. I know his temperament. I know how he fits in my clubhouse. I don't know if a free agent pitcher can fit in my clubhouse the way Zac Gallen can. I don't know that. I know it about Zac Gallen. And when you are in the business trying to put together a 26-man roster to try to be relevant and compete, you've got to put the right pieces together, and you have to pick the right people. And when you have limited resources in the way that Mike Hazen and the Diamondbacks are going to have this offseason, you better be sure that the players you're bringing in make sense, because you don't have the wiggle room that you had 2 years ago to admit that signing Jordan Montgomery was a mistake and then being able to go out there and sign Corbin Burns. You pick a starter in the offseason, because I think we both agree, you, the listener, me, that starting pitching a main priority for this team this offseason, that you feel like they don't have the internal options to fix that rotation, that they're going to have to look external. So why look external? Why not just bring back the guy? Why not re-sign Zac Gallen to a deal to bring in somebody that you know, that you're comfortable with, that's been great as of late, and allows you to go focus on all the other things that you need to focus on this offseason? This team's going to spend money. It's going to be very limited, but they're going to spend money. We think they need 2 starters. They could potentially need a first baseman. They now need a left fielder in the wake of Lourdes Gurriel's injury. Who's playing third? Who's playing center? all the questions that I have about the 2026 Diamondbacks. I can look internal for many of those answers. Who's playing third? It's going to be some combination of Blaze Alexander and or Jordan Lawlar. And boy, do I have some more thoughts on Jordan Lawlar coming up a little bit later on in the show. Because I'm red hot today about that. Again, after we learned absolutely nothing yesterday about why he wasn't in that game. Unless I missed something, but I was online a lot yesterday. I was in the weeds on the internet trying to find somebody that said anything about why Jordan Lawlar wasn't in that game yesterday. Couldn't find a peep. Couldn't find a mention of Jordan Lawlar. Searched Jordan Lawlar's name on Twitter yesterday. I saw tweets about people having his baseball card. Nothing about why he wasn't in the lineup yesterday in that game. Third base going to be some combination of Jordan Lawlar and Blaze Alexander. Blaze Alexander, if not at third, certainly helps you solve your outfield problem. Could play center, probably could play some left, has shown his athleticism, and is a guy that right now I want to find a way to play every single day. First base, could it be Pavin Smith? Could it be Tyler Locklear? Could it be Adrian Del Castillo? I've got internal choices there. I've got internal options at a lot of those positions. You know where I don't have internal options? I don't have internal options with my starting pitcher. So that's where I'm going to devote many of my resources. And so I'm already committing myself as an organization to spend money on my starters this offseason. Why wouldn't I spend money on a guy that I know? Zac Gallen, for all his warts, is the surest bet that Mike Hazen and the Diamondbacks can make when it comes to addressing their starting pitching woes. They're going to walk into the offseason with 2 openings on their roster, 2 openings in their rotation. While they wait for their prospects to develop and be ready to contribute to this big league club, they have to have stopgaps. Why wouldn't you make one of those stopgaps a guy that you know can thrive here, that you know has handled everything about being an Arizona Diamondback, and again, is pitching some of the best baseball we've seen him pitch in a really long time over his last 7 starts?
What's the saying? It's sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Exactly. The devil you know in this case is a flawed Zac Gallen. This is not ace Zac Gallen anymore, although he's pitching like it. Although if this is the version that the Diamondbacks are signing up for, I'll take it. I think we'd all love this version of Zac Gallen over 30 starts. I don't think we're going to get it, but he's been very good since the trade deadline. Now, he's going to demand more money because he's going to be going into the offseason on a high note. But I looked at Spotrac today. They do this market value calculation for all these pitchers, and they compare the pitchers' numbers or the players' numbers to contemporaries and other players that recently hit the market. And then they compare their stats to the group of recent contract stats, and they come up with a market value. They have the market value for Zac Gallen right now at $18.3 million. They have his market value as a 4-year, $73.5 million contract. Right now, today, you want to know how I feel? Where do I sign? That's how I feel today. Right now, today, talking about Zac Gallen, that contract, where do I take this Sharpie? I'll unclip it. Where do I sign? Because I'd sign for that. I'd sign for that right now because I know what Zac Gallen is. And maybe he's not going to be able to be a 2.2 ERA pitcher over 30 starts, but I certainly know he's going to be able to eat up innings for me. And I certainly know that it's likely that throughout the course of the season, I'll have stretches like this. I can't say the same for some of the other free agent options. And trust me, I've gone through them. None of them wow me. None of them excite me in the way that Zac Gallen does. And I get it. He's pitching well when all the pressure's off. He's pitching well in a low leverage environment right now. The team's not trying to go anywhere, although they've been great, 19-13 since the trade deadline. They've been actually pretty solid since they got rid of many of their high-prized assets at the deadline. And so I understand if you want to push back and say, Chris, he didn't do this at the beginning of the year. One of the main arguments for moving on from Zac Gallen at the end of the year was this worry that perhaps he needed a change of scenery, that he needed a new voice, that he just overstayed his welcome in Arizona. That's where we got. That, hey, Zac was great here, was an ace at times, helped this team reach the postseason in 23, the World Series that year. Great. But it's what have you done for me lately? And you're just wondering if he's overstayed his welcome. If, you know what, the end of the season, you need a fresh start, we need a fresh start, we're going to go our separate ways. He's proving to you over these last 7 starts that he doesn't need a fresh start, that he can still be that pitcher here with this jersey at that ballpark. Now, he pitched against Colorado. He pitched against Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas, whatever we're calling them, the Guardians. I mean, he hasn't faced the top offenses. This 7 starts aren't Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Brewers, Cubs. I mean, he's not going through a gauntlet. But back-to-back starts with 6 scoreless, a 2.2 ERA in his last 7. That's a large enough sample size that I can't ignore it. And for a team that I know is going to have to penny pinch in many ways, they're going to have to use what internal options they have to fill some of the holes, to duct tape and Band-Aid some holes here on the boat. And then they're going to have to use what limited resources they're going to have to be very targeted. The money that they use is going to have to be spent extremely well. If you're, let's say, the Yankees or the Mets, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, you can spend a ton of money. And if it doesn't work out, you can survive that. You can just spend more money because you have ownership groups that are willing to admit their faults and just pay for replacements. The Diamondbacks, for the last 2 seasons, will have not made the postseason, will not have that postseason money available to them. They're not going to have the budgets that those other teams have. They're going to have to be very targeted in what they do, and they're going to have to bat a really high average this offseason in their free agent signings. Normally, you give some teams some grace where they don't have to go perfect with their free agent signings. The Diamondbacks are going to have to go close to perfect. Limited resources, lots of holes to fill. We can't get to June of next year and say, well, they signed that left fielder to play left field in place of Lourdes Gurriel, and it just hasn't worked out. They can't afford that. That will sink any chance they have of being relevant in 2026. So why take a major risk? Why not take a smaller risk? Why not take a smaller risk on a guy that you know very well who also addresses probably what we would all say is priority number 1 for this team this offseason? With a roster, with an organization where I can fill the other holes internally. Does everybody love the options at first base right now? No. But they have options that could turn into something. They don't have options right now that can turn into something with their starting pitching. At least not right now. I don't know where Cole Drake is. I don't know where Mitch Bratt is. They might not be contributors in 2026. You hope that they are. I can't go into 2026 hoping. I got to have certainties on the roster. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to spend around to get 2 starters. So why not spend a lot of my money on one really great starter? So Zac Gallen's recent stretch here, these 7 starts looking just excellent, dominating. I mean, the 6 innings scoreless against the Dodgers, 6 scoreless his last time out against a Texas team that's trying to fight for that 3rd and final playoff spot in the American League. He's been bringing it. A 2.2 ERA in 7 starts since the deadline. This is an ace level run from Zac Gallen. And it's got me contemplating maybe they just go all in on bringing him back for next year. He's your number 1. Ryan Nelson's your number 2. Brandon Pfaadt's your number 3. Erod's your number 4. And then maybe you give one of the kids that 5th spot. You feel a lot better about that rotation than you do walking into next year with Ryan Nelson as your 1, Brandon Pfaadt as your 2, Eduardo Rodriguez is your 3, and I don't know who's filling 4 or 5. So I'd strongly consider all of my chips or most of my chips going all into the Zac Gallen basket here in the offseason. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Matthew over there says he's been real good since there's been no pressure of making the playoffs. Where was he when we needed him? It's a fair criticism. It's fair to wonder if we're putting too much stock into a 7-game stretch here. But if he was done with Arizona, if he was thinking about moving on, if he was thinking about, I need to get out of here, I don't think we would see this type of run from him. Now, maybe he's turning it on because he knows his value is torpedoing and he might not get what he wants in free agency. But he's pitching well for Arizona. That tells me the message is not getting lost on him. Here, he hasn't overstayed his welcome. This isn't a situation where both sides need to move on for the betterment of everybody. I don't feel that way anymore with what he's done here over these last 7 starts. When we come back, Cardinals Saints week 1, just a couple days away. Not to get all negative on everybody, but how bad would a week 1 loss be? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo is starting at $3.99. Comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Are you ready to score big with your finances? Right now, get $350 for opening a new MidFirst checking account. Just visit a branch near you or go online. Plus, register your MidFirst debit or credit card and enter to win a $1,500 shopping spree. No purchase necessary. The clock's ticking, so don't wait. Win big this season with MidFirst Bank. Visit midfirst.com for details. MidFirst Bank. True to you. Member FDIC.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Nothing ever lives up to the hype, especially now where seemingly everything is hype beyond comprehension. Take Arch Manning, for instance. This dude was his uncles Pate and Eli, his grandfather Archie, and Tom Brady all rolled into one. On top of that, even before making his first start that actually mattered, the world had already awarded him the Heisman Trophy, a natty, and had him selected first in next year's NFL draft. All of this before he even stepped foot in the horseshoe in Columbus against the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes this weekend. Even Arch knew it was all so absurd, and then went out and proved it by, well, taking a big dump in his pants. Listen, no shame in losing to the Buckeyes in the shoe, but the last thing I expected was for the moment to be too big for him, and it was. Yes, it's only one game, but maybe we don't fit this dude for a gold jacket just yet. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Football season is back on Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code ROME and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
I can always gauge whether or not the tease is good based on how the YouTube comments react to it in real time. Because we've got two, I don't want to say polar opposite opinions, but two people reacted to the question that I asked before the break about how bad a week one loss would be. Matthew has threatened, and Matthew, I'm just telling you right now, you're a part of this family. We consider you a P1. You hang out with us every single day over on the YouTube side of things. I'm going to hold you to this. You have said that you will not watch another game the rest of the season if they lose week one. Just know you can't say things like that on this show and expect to just be back next week watching the Cardinals in week two. I'm going to hold you to that. Okay? I'll give you one more segment to potentially revoke what you said there. But if not, I'm going to hold you to that if they lose week one, you're not watching the rest of the season. I don't want to hear you complaining. You're out.
I've made some claims like that about the Diamondbacks through the years.
Right. And we hold you to those types of things here on the program.
Yeah, and I will be very clear.
He says, I will happily not watch. He's out. He's like, I'm done.
In fairness, if they lose to the Saints, I think that's an early reason to quit on them.
Well, and it's kind of the point of the question, right? How bad would this loss actually be if they went down to New Orleans and struggled in week one? Part of me wants to default to it's week one. There's 16 more of them. Everybody kind of agrees at this point that week one is glorified preseason anyway. And so it's not really a true indicator of who the Cardinals are. That's where the rational version of me wants to be if they lost week one. But the irrational radio host in me that rants and raves and screams into the microphone would probably lose his mind on Monday if they lost this game, because it would just be totally unacceptable. This is a first impression that they have to land. They have to land a good first impression. Why? Because I think for many of us, myself included, are very excited about what this team can be. And I don't want to say that we on this show have gone out on a limb. I think many people are saying that they can make the postseason. But we've said it. This team can make the postseason. How foolish would all of us look if they go down to New Orleans and struggle and lose to a team that many people assume is going to be picking number one in the NFL draft next year? It's just a terrible look. And I don't know how you get up from that. Because now, by losing this game on Sunday, here's what you do. By losing on Sunday, you now give me something to point to. You now give me a reason to doubt you. Right now, let's be honest. Everybody's 0-0 until Cowboys-Eagles kicks off later tonight. I don't have a reason to doubt this team. We can talk about, will Kyler answer the call? Will this defense be revamped in the way that we think it will? We can have questions, but I don't have any reason to doubt this team, because this team is not last year's team. It's not the team from the year before. This is its own separate unit that I have to evaluate based on what they do. And right now, they've done nothing. Good or bad, they've done nothing. You lose on Sunday, you lose to the Saints in New Orleans, you've now done something, and you've done something very bad that allows me to wonder, are you going to take advantage of this easy schedule to start the year? Are you really as good defensively as I think you are? Are there offensive concerns that rear their ugly head? Again, it's week one. We'll take it in a vacuum as a small sample size, but it would be, I'll use Michael's word from the YouTube chat, a terrible optic to have all of this excitement and buzz around this team. We predicted them yesterday to win the division. I think they can win 10 or 11 games this year. And for the first impression that you give all of us, a loss to a team that let me take a peek. I haven't looked at I'm doing some little early research for tomorrow's pick segment. You're a 6.5-point favorite on the road. Neutral site, you would be a nearly 10-point favorite against that Saints team. And you go in there and lose, it would be very bad. I think even though it's one game and it's week one and you don't want to overreact to it, it would rival the Bengals losing to the Patriots last year. It could derail everything if you lose on Sunday.
2 weeks ago, I told everybody on this show, you cannot make the playoffs in the first 7 weeks of this schedule. But you know what you can do? You can knock yourselves out of the playoffs. It starts with week one. If you lose to the Saints, I just want to make it very clear this is not a playoff football team. It just isn't. Because you're right. The Bengals last year lost to the Patriots in week one.
And what did everybody say? Oh,
week one.
Just week one.
They couldn't get off the mat. They could not come back from that, and they missed the playoffs by a tiebreaker because they lost to the Patriots in week one. It's like the same thing I say with baseball. The world early is the biggest liar in all of sports. Whether it's game 1 or game 18, they all count the same. Go in there and take care of business, because if you lose to the Saints, it's going to be so hard to dig yourself out of that hole.
Did you make the unilateral decision to expand the season? You said game 18.
Week 18.
I was just going to say, did I miss a piece of news that we're playing 18 games this year? That would change a lot. But
I will break leftovers news to you.
I saw Amari Cooper retired after
retired.
not playing a game for the Raiders, but going back to the Raiders. Yes, I did see that. I didn't know if we were going to get to it, but I did see it during the break. I don't really know what to do with that. All this excitement about him going back there. You going to change your pick now about the Raiders because Amari Cooper's not there anymore?
No, I'm sticking with the Raiders. I didn't change my opinion on it.
Matt says that the Eagles lost to the Saints. Here's the difference. The Eagles have a track record and a resume that allows you to look at a game like that and give them a pass. The Cardinals, they don't have a pass right now. Again, I'm evaluating them 0-0. This is a different team than last year's team, which is different than the year before that. You've got to start off on a good note, because then if you lose week one to this team on the road when you're a 6.5-point favorite, you know what my immediate default reaction is? Everything you said to me in the offseason was a lie.
And I also want to go back to a couple things with that Eagles-Saints game. And the reason I bring these up is because I think they're important to look at. One, the Eagles did end up winning that game. Saquon broke a long run to win that game. And then they hit Goddard on a thing. But A.J. Brown did not play, and they lost Devontae Smith. Like they didn't have a receiver out there that started the game for them. The Cardinals are coming in healthy.
Here's the other thing. This is week one. This is a year that you're supposed to win the division and make the playoffs. Let's face it. That's what we're talking about with this team. I don't want excuses when you're a 6.5-point favorite on the road. You want to be talked about like a division winner? You want to be talked about like a team that can win double-digit games? You want to be talked about Jonathan Gannon potentially winning Coach of the Year? You want all of that accolades and praise? You know what you do? You win this game on Sunday, and you win it handedly. You go in there, you take care of business. It's a business trip to start the season. You win by multiple scores. You come back home, you get ready for Carolina. That's what this week is about. If you're about no nonsense, taking everything seriously, taking care of business, you win this game, and you win it comfortably. So a loss to me would be very bad. And maybe it's me being the radio host and being overdramatic about week one of the season because football's back. I don't think so.
I just want to make it very clear. They're starting Spencer Rattler.
First-year head coach, brand new system, quarterback that, let's face it, not very great. A team overall, Rod, defensively, you should be able to feast all over. A loss, to just answer the question, a loss would be horrific to start the year. Would be absolutely brutal. We may do the whole first hour of the show on Monday, and it might be all about a loss. Like if they lose, I don't know if we'll sneak in another sport. I legitimately don't know if we'll talk about anything other than them losing. I expect the phone lines to be jammed on Monday if that happens. Jammed.
I'm going to do it right now. If they lose this game, they are not a playoff football team.
Yeah,
I just don't think. Like, look at their schedule. If you do not take advantage of the early part of their schedule, you will fail.
Correct.
You will fail.
Correct.
Period. If you can't beat the Saints, you should be underdogs against Carolina at home. That's the way I look at it.
It's all about a first impression. It's all about the optic. A lot of talk, a lot of buzz about how good and improved this team was. You got to show it right away. Don't give me a reason to now doubt you going into week two. 480-864-1060. Boy, You can feel it in the air. You can feel the football on all of us. We're ready to yell and rant
I don't
and
think
rave.
they're going to lose, but we just did a whole segment on if they
I know.
lose, and now I'm fired up.
Right, football's back.
Yeah.
You just know we're back if that's the conversation we were just having for 12 minutes. Because, spoiler alert, I'm picking the Cardinals, and they're going to be one of my 3 plays probably when we do the picks tomorrow. When we come back, our awards predictions and who we have winning the Super Bowl. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids
say.
He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For Total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
It's time to head back to school and forward to your future with Carrington College. For over 55 years, we've helped train the next generation of healthcare professionals. Apply now to get hands-on training from teachers with real-world experience. In as few as 9 months, you could start making a difference in healthcare. Classes start soon in Phoenix, Glendale, Mesa, and Tucson. Visit carrington.edu to see what's next for you. Visit carrington.edu/SCI for information on program outcomes.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the Valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choyo Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit andrewthehomebuyer.com. That's andrewthehomebuyer.com.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket. Ready to rock, guys? You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
What are we worried about? Eric says he's going to be at the game, and he's got the win for us. We're fine. The whole last segment doesn't mean anything. Eric says he's going to be at the game. We'll make sure the Cardinals win. We're fine.
down there in New Orleans, Eric.
That would be when the schedule comes out. I'm sure you do it. Like I would
always look.
You look to see what would make a good trip. And week 1, starting the year, New Orleans. That's a cool, fun city.
Have you ever been?
I have not.
And neither have I.
No.
It's funny. I would do New Orleans for a game, but like even last year, Eagles fan, the Eagles in the Super Bowl there, I had no interest in going for the Super Bowl to New Orleans. Just a lot of people down there.
The Super Bowl in general, like even if my team was playing in it, I still would have reservations just because that's a lot. It's a lot going on, a lot of people, a lot of craziness, very expensive. Like during the regular season, you could probably get some good tickets for week 1, and it's not going to break the bank, right?
So my family went when the Eagles won their first one. But my dad and mom got offered tickets.
So it was
for a family of 4, we bought 2.
So okay,
so it made sense.
Yeah, that 100%.
But of course, like the Super Bowl we go to is in Minneapolis. So
also shout out to Cole joining us over on the YouTube side of things, asking what would you guys say the Saints' strong point is? We love their offensive line. We believe they have talent offensively. If they can get their system up and going quick enough, Alvin Kamara, while not the player that he was 3 years ago, still a dynamic back that you have to
certainly
consider when game planning defensively. And it just depends on what version of Spencer Rattler you get, right? I mean, that truly, if Rattler is not committing the big turnover, I think he's a fine enough quarterback to where they could shock you and win a game. But if he's gunslinging it, throwing it all over the place, he has the propensity to be very Jameis Winston-like and just make a ton of mistakes.
We've talked about this before. He's a gunslinger. Yes. And by definition, if you get hot, you can get really hot. And the Saints do have weapons. Like Rashid Shaheed can take the top off. And
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave is a great player. Brandon Cooks later in his career. Juwan Johnson. Like they have weapons. Yeah. So does that make you a little nervous inside? Sure. I just think the nerves are so little. And he's a gunslinger who hasn't played a lot of football in the NFL, right? So that also gives you a little bit of confidence.
They're not devoid, I think, of talent offensively. They're certainly devoid of depth across the board. Where I worry with the Saints is, are they going to be able to stop anybody? They're going to have to play, and I use this analogy all the time, so apologies for saying it again, but they're going to have to play Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Big 12 football, final score 48-45. Like that's how it feels like the Saints are going to win most of their games this year.
Like it feels like if they're going to win, they're going to have to play a perfect offensive game. And in as much as I've complimented their weapons and the offensive line, and Rattler can get hot. I mean, I read you the names. Do they feel like they're going to play a perfect game?
No.
So that's where I stand on it. I mean, this was one of the worst run defenses in all of football last year.
Third most yards they allowed to running backs last year. They allowed the third most rushing yards in all of football. So for what the Cardinals want to do offensively, it feels like a perfect matchup. How about we do some predictions? We've got awards and our Super Bowl pick. We're going on the record. Can't take it back after you make it.
You have a winner and loser.
I have an AFC and NFC representative.
Perfect. Sounds good.
You want to start with the awards?
Yeah. Do you want to work our way to the biggest one?
Honestly, in order to make sure that I don't forget any of these, can we just do it in the order that I have it written down on my paper?
Yeah.
Okay. I have MVP first.
Okay, see.
I'm going Joe Burrow.
I am also going Joe Burrow.
I think Lamar would be my pick just based off of what I said yesterday about being the number one quarterback. I do think there is, in general, fatigue when somebody wins the award, even one time. I think there's a default by many to try to get it to somebody else. And with how much I think the Bengals are going to need their passing attack to just be otherworldly good, I think Joe Burrow's numbers at the end of the year are going to look video game-like. And so Joe Burrow's my MVP.
If they made the playoffs last year, he was the runaway MVP. If they do the same this year, he's going to have to be the runaway MVP. I picked them as a playoff team. That means he's the MVP of the league. And you're right. If they didn't have a little bit of fatigue, Lamar would have won his third last year.
Right.
Period.
Right. My offensive player of the year. This is where you can give a non-quarterback the award. How about we give it to the guy Joe Burrow is throwing the ball to? How about Jamar Chase?
What if I told you I had the same player, offensive player of the year?
If Joe Burrow is going to be the MVP, I extrapolate that out, and I just assume that at the end of the year, Jamar Chase is going to have some video game numbers.
My defensive player of the year. Maybe learning a new system. Maybe a quick turnaround, but it feels like he's coming out with something to prove. I'm going Micah Parsons.
Okay, he is the betting favorite. And not surprisingly that he is the betting favorite because of how good he is. I got an obscure one for you. You can get some good odds on this guy. How about Jared Verse for the Los Angeles Rams?
I don't hate that pick. Do you know what else, other name I threw out? It was a little bit different. Andrew Van Ginkel.
Another good name to throw out there. Verse is the lead pass rusher for that team. So he's going to be able to get those counting stats that everybody cares about. He was a nightmare last year.
Oh my gosh.
A menace.
I mean,
in the most
the combination of
respectful way
speed
possible
and power that Jared Verse has is special.
I think he's going to feast, and I think he's going to surprise some people, and that sometimes can help you if maybe you're behind a little bit stats-wise, but you have a year that nobody expects that can get you in there.
I also just think younger guy, right? Like younger guy coming in, having a big second year, like those things.
And you know what? With these awards, sometimes you got to throw darts. I can't just go chalk. I'm having some fun here. Jared Verse, my defensive player of the year. Although on my paper, I have him under the defensive rookie of the year because I mixed him and my defensive player of the year up, but I made the correction on the fly.
I'm glad to hear that. Where are we going next? Comeback player of the year?
Let's go with the rookies of the year.
Rookie of the year.
The offensive rookie of the year. You said you had an outside-the-box name.
I did. I'm going to take T-Mac.
Tedero McMillan out there in Carolina. What if I told you I also had a wide receiver? I have Matthew Golden as my offensive rookie of the year. You're going to sense something here as we move on. I'm very high on the Packers this year. I think this is the next step for Jordan Love. I think that offense is going to be more well-rounded. They just added Micah Parsons to their defense. That's certainly going to help. And I think Matthew Golden. Everybody tells me that the Packers need a number one wide receiver, even though I think Jaden Reed and Christian Watson are a pretty good dynamic duo. They drafted Golden in the first round. I think they're going to try to make him a thing. He was our favorite receiver coming out of the draft. I'll take Golden to win the Rookie of the Year.
I went back and forth. I had three names I thought it could be, all receivers. I would T-Mac, who I think is the definite number one in Carolina, and that's why I went with it.
Fair enough.
Green Bay, you're right. I love Golden. I love what he's going to add to that offense. I don't know if he's going to step in and be the number one week one. I think he is, but I don't know the answer to that completely. My third one, I know is not the number one, but Ibuka. I am blown away by the videos that have come out of camp.
Just to make sure we don't get trolled, we do realize Ashton Genty exists, okay? We just didn't pick him. We realize that he's there in Vegas.
We do.
I picked a receiver. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I want you to give me yours first.
I went Abdul Carter. I went, this one's very chalky, but I just think the presence of Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau there in New York, he's going to be forgotten about a little bit. And from what I've seen so far in training camp and in preseason, it looks like he's going to be a problem. Like, it looks like it's going to be very difficult to stop Abdul Carter. And I just think defenses are going to have to pick their poison. And I think most are going to try to stop Brian Burns because he's been the long-standing vet in the league. And I just think Abdul Carter is going to feast.
There is no better pass rusher that has probably come into a better opportunity than Abdul Carter is going to come into with the New York Giants and the attention that he's going to receive. The opportunity is there. I just thought it was too chalky. I feel like I've been pretty chalky across the board. I went little homer pick here. Give me Will Johnson. I think he has a couple picks.
Wow.
Maybe a pick six.
You did go homer on us. All right, that's fair. Coach of the Year. Speaking of being a homer, Jonathan Gannon, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Pete Carroll.
Of course. I mean, that is the lock of all locks that you were going to pick Pete Carroll to win that award.
The story of Pete Carroll coming out of retirement to coach the Raiders. If they win 9 games and sneak into the playoffs, guess what? He's the Coach of the Year.
My comeback player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson of the Detroit Lions.
Aiden Hutchinson as well. When the guy is on the field, he's a complete difference maker.
And again, the comeback player of the year, you have to come back from an injury.
Like you can't just be horrible.
Right, yeah, right. You just can't be bad and then all of a sudden be good.
Geno Smith.
Right, what'd you come back from? Being terrible at football. Like, that's not enough for me. So yeah. Your Super Bowl pick.
I have Eagles over Ravens.
We agree on one team. I have the Ravens over the Green Bay Packers. I'm in on the Packers this year.
It feels like Lamar's year to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It just does.
And I think the narrative against him not being able to play in the postseason is starting to fade a little bit because he's played well recently in the postseason. And so I think this is the year that they break through. Now, John wants you to know as the Raiders fan that they win 4 games tops.
Yes. John is a Raiders fan.
Oh, he's a huge Raiders guy.
So that makes me more confident.
But here's what we've decided. We're all year it's going to be you two. You two are going to clash all season long. Because I guarantee you picked him as your coach of the year. You've been high on them for most of the offseason. You are going to, just on principle, pick them during the Pick'em segment at some point. Maybe not tomorrow, but throughout the year, you're going to pick them because you're going to want to stand on business and you're going to want to take your team.
I can tell you where I'm going to take him in week 2.
Right. So just all year long, you and John are just going to be going back and forth.
They're going to be home dogs against the Chargers in week 2. I'm taking them. Though this week, I'm high on the Patriots too, and they're in New England. Patriots could get away.
Don't do the pick segment before the pick segment, please. Save that for tomorrow's show.
I didn't give any picks.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. When we come back, wrapping up hour number 1 of the program, a little buy or sell. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
I tell you, I'm starting to get a good feel for tomorrow's picks. Looking at all these numbers, there are a couple that are starting to stand out a little bit.
Have you decided?
On tonight?
Yeah.
Listen, I have until the end of the program to make that decision. I'm going to use all of the time allocated to me.
I've decided.
You've decided?
I've decided.
You're closing hour number 1 with a major decision.
Do you want me to save it for maybe
No, please. If you feel strong and you want to make a pick, go ahead. Fire away, buddy.
I'm taking the Eagles at 8.5-point favorites for my 2-point play. Both feet on the ground. Stand by what I said.
Wow, 2-point play. You're going to use a 2-pointer on Thursday Night Football. Locked it in? Lock it in. Lock it in, 2-point play. Eagles minus 8.5 tonight. I see that number as well, so we can agree on that number. I'm using DraftKings numbers for all of this.
I'm using FanDuel.
How about we agree to use DraftKings?
Well, I'm going to push for FanDuel.
No, how about we do DraftKings?
Can I tell you what FanDuel did today?
No, how about we use DraftKings because we're playing some of their spots on the station. How about we use DraftKings?
Right, yeah, we'll use DraftKings.
So minus 8.5, lock it in, 2-point play. So you're going to go into tomorrow either feeling good, already 2 points up on me without me doing anything, or you're going to be very depressed. Because Eagles could still win. 27-20 final, worst case scenario for you. Eagles win and you lose the 2 points.
I need, if the Cowboys get the ball back with like seconds left, I need one of those classic backdoor covers, like a fumble.
You're going to need something special.
Yeah. I know exactly how that's going to go.
The show text thread is going to be fun tonight during that game. All right, we don't have a lot of time. Let's get to as many buy or sells as we can here to close up hour number 1 of the show.
I would sign Zac Gallen over any other free agent available to the D-backs this offseason.
Buy. Because I know what Zac Gallen is. I know what Zac Gallen isn't. I have a better, more complete picture. Part of free agency, think about how many times you've watched your favorite team in any sport sign a free agent and you think, man, it's a great signing. It's a great player. And it doesn't work out because there's always an unknown. There's always something that you don't know about that player, how they're going to fit, how they're going to gel. You just can't say stuff will be a 100% certainty. But with Zac Gallen, you know a lot about Zac. He's been here a long, long, long time. This is kind of a knock on Zac, but the devil you know versus the devil you don't. I know a lot about Zac Gallen to the point where I'm comfortable giving him a long-term contract extension. Bye.
Marvin Harrison Jr. will catch a touchdown in week 1. Did you see Kyler Murray's comments yesterday?
I did not. That's probably what's
connection is as strong as it's ever been.
Oh, sign me up.
They're playing it up.
Sign me up. Marvin Harrison Jr. Put it on the board. Bye. Marvin Harrison Jr. over 0.5 touchdowns in this game on Sunday. Kyler Murray says the connection is best it's ever been. Lock it up.
They're like brothers.
Oh. Going to have 3 catches for 36 yards on 7 targets on Sunday.
And a touchdown.
No, just after comments like that, this is where he gets like 5 targets throughout the game. And the first 2 quarters, it's like two targets.
Oh, that would be horrible. That'd be horrible. ASU will run the ball 30 times or more against Mississippi State.
They're certainly going to want to run the ball more, right? They're going to want to have more balance. And I think I'd feel differently about them throwing the ball as much as they did if it was working. Like if they were just moving up and down the field, no problem.
If they didn't go 3 and out 3 or 4 consecutive times in the game, you would feel very differently.
And so if they're having that type of success throwing the football, I think Kenny's going to stick with it, and I won't blame him. I'll sell the idea that they're going to run the ball 30 times because I think they're just going to go with whatever's working. And if that means throwing the ball 35, 40 times, then I think they'll do that. But I want them to run the ball more. Let me just make something very clear. I want them to.
He feels like almost in an over what do you call that? Over exaggerator when it comes to the adjustments you have to make.
Oh, yeah.
So like they could come out and run the ball the first 3 series 9 times. And maybe go 3 and out every
like,
time.
See? Ran the ball more for you.
By the way, I stand by that teams have done that before. Like their fan base has called for them to run the ball. And then they've been like, well, we'll just go run it and win the game. And they're like, yeah, we're a running football team now. That's happened before.
I will still sell the take.
Sunday Night Football is the best broadcast look to all the other ones.
We're on NBC Peacock tonight, right?
We are on NBC. It is technically Sunday Night Football.
Tomorrow we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we're on Sunday Night Football. I do like I like the Amazon package.
Do you?
I love
it. I do. Like Thursday night is the perfect place for Herb Street to be.
Thursday night, next gen broadcast where it's Michaels and Herb Street, but with all the data. Best broadcast in sports. So I'll sell the take on Sunday Night Football. I like the Amazon broadcast on Thursday with the next gen stats. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. Thanks for joining us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps with my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us with canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K-12 at chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome back into the lunch break, hour number 2 of the program. Thanks for joining us. Producer Evan, it's about 400 degrees hotter in this room today than it was yesterday. And I'm not really sure what to do about it. I'm struggling. Still no air. We're on like day 3 of the air still being broken. I'm wearing shorts today. Last 2 days I wore shorts. I prepared accordingly. I'm sweating. I don't know if it's all the lights in my face because of the video version of the program, but it's been a rough go of it. But thanks for hanging out with us. Football back tonight. We'll have our first power rankings of the year coming up about 25 minutes or so from now. We'll do our pre-week 1 power rankings, and we do this the same way every year. 1 through 5, 3 HMs, 3 honorable mentions, and all throughout the year we will update them. Every Thursday throughout the year, we will update those power rankings and tell you where I think the football world stands after each week of the season. So we'll get you started with how I think the NFL stacks up before we've even played a game. We'll do that in a little bit from now. But I want to dive back into what apparently is only important to producer Evan and I, because we seem to be the only people that have made a big deal out of this yesterday. Jordan Lawlar wasn't in the lineup for the Diamondbacks yesterday. The day after, going 2 for 3, picking up his first hit of the 2025 season, hitting the ball extremely hard in his first 3 at-bats. And he sat down yesterday. And I opened the show. You can go back and listen to it in the podcast feed with a little bit of a rant. I thought it was a fireable offense to not have Jordan Lawlar in that lineup yesterday after the night that he had. And the only out that I gave the Diamondbacks was that if he was hurt, obviously you can understand why he wasn't in the lineup. But short of that, there is not a good enough reason for him to not be in the lineup yesterday to now lead into a day off today. And then they start a 3-game series on Friday. So if he's in the lineup on Friday, it'll feel like eons since he had that multi-hit game. And yet I looked around yesterday. I listened to some podcasts that were doing some post-game shows. I checked all of the reporters that I follow on social media, and I couldn't find a single person who had a comment or a question about why Jordan Lawlar wasn't in the lineup. It was like there was universal acceptance as to why Jordan Lawlar wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Now, I'm going to grant myself a little bit of an out here. Maybe we missed something. Maybe something was said post-game 2 nights ago. Maybe something was said pre-game yesterday or post-game yesterday that I missed. But I'm pretty sure I did a decent job with my research, and I couldn't find anything. And I don't get that. I need somebody to explain to me why we accepted that as an answer over the last 2 days. Why we think it's okay that Jordan Lawlar didn't play yesterday. Why we wouldn't, for the rest of September, find every chance possible to get Jordan Lawlar in the game. Why we wouldn't use this as a learning opportunity. You want him to face the best of the best right-handed pitching? Isn't this the best time to do it? When there is no pressure? When you're not worried about wins and losses? You're not worried about holding off a team to win the division or to hold off a team for a wild card spot? It's about as low leverage as you can get. It's September for a team that's below 500. Play the players that you want to get answers about. They didn't do that yesterday. So shame on Torrey. Shame on the organization. Shame on everybody who was involved in that decision because it was a bad one. It's a bad decision not to feed that kid's confidence. Could you imagine if he had another good game yesterday going into the off day? If he had another multi-hit game and he stacked together 2 good performances going into an off day? You knew he was going to have a day off today because the whole team does. So why wouldn't you try to build some confidence in him? If you gave him the off day just to give him the off day, you had an off day today. You've got a calendar. Look at it. There's no game today. They're not playing. They play again tomorrow. Could have played him yesterday. You could have shown the faith and confidence in him. Hey, kid, you had that game. Multi-hit. Hitting the ball really hard. You know what? You're back in the lineup today. I know it's a tough right-hander. I know it's Jack Leiter, but we believe in you. You've got the snowball rolling. Let's go. Let's make this where we don't even have to do this check-in. You're just playing every day. That's what should be going on right now. And instead, I feel like we're the crazy people today because we're the only ones talking about this. We're the only ones that brought it up. Opened the show with it yesterday. Talking about it again here today.
I just not only was it a fail from Torrey and from a whole organizational standpoint, I mean, even the media to not go in there and ask. I'm sorry, but if you and I were sitting in that postgame, that's my first question. Hey, no Jordan Lawlar today. What's up with that? He had 2 hits last night.
I
need an answer.
Now, I'll be honest. I have a press credential. I could have gone down there. They played a day game yesterday. So we were kind of in the middle of doing things on the air. Wasn't really a major possibility yesterday. But to your point, if I was in the room, I would have asked. Now, maybe somebody did, and the quote just didn't get out to the media. I'm shocked by that. Because if somebody asked the question, it would have been tweeted somewhere. But you search Jordan Lawlar, and I don't see anything. I don't see any quote. I see a lot of fans upset. I see a lot of fans asking the same question that we're asking. What gives here? What happened here? And you would think, put myself in the shoes of the organization for just a second. What if he is actually hurt? Wouldn't you come out and say it to stop people like you and I talking about this? Stopping the fans from assuming that you're just making poor decisions? Wouldn't you get out in front of it and say, yeah, he's kind of dealing with something. We gave him the day off because we have the extra off day. So it was 2 days for him to kind of recover, and he'll be back in the lineup on Friday, or we expect him to be back in the lineup on Friday. That's a very easy thing for a manager to say pregame. Yeah, Jordan had a great game last night. We wanted to have him in there today. Kind of came in complaining about something. So we said, you know what? Extra day off tomorrow. We don't want to chance it. He's not playing today. Off day tomorrow. We're hoping that he's back in the lineup by Friday. Did you see how easy that was? You see how simple it was? If that's what went on here, if that's what happened, that's a very easy thing to say to the media, either pregame or postgame. Why didn't anybody ask? Why didn't anybody bring it up? Why wasn't one of the first things people asked yesterday after talking about the great job that Zac Gallen did? Hey, you know, we've been spending a lot of time talking about Jordan Lawlar getting up here to the big league level and playing well. He had a 2-hit game last night. Why wasn't he in the lineup today? Why didn't he play? Is he going to be back in there on Friday? All of those are reasonable, rational questions to ask coming out of that game that he had the other night. And I just think if he is healthy, you're doing him a major disservice right now.
That's the biggest thing is I don't think that's a crazy question to ask. I really don't. I think that's a very normal question. In a guy who, by the way, in his post-game press conference after having 2 hits, told the whole world, yeah, I think the at-bats are good for me. I think they're really helping.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too.
That's where we're at.
And I'm asking this because I want to understand. I want to know what went on here. I want an answer. And if the answer is he's banged up and they gave him the day,
that's fine.
That's an acceptable answer. I'll take back.
But guess what? I need that answer. Like, it needs to be that answer.
I will take back everything that I've been talking about for the last 2 days, if that's truly what happened. But you know what? Now that we're into day 2 about it,
and we don't have an answer,
and I don't have an answer, I'm taking that off the table because you didn't get out in front of it. You didn't say something 2 days ago. You've allowed me for 2 days now to talk about this without saying something. You want to give this kid every reason to believe in himself. And yesterday, you gave him every reason to not do that. I just don't understand it. And this is a shame on everybody. Shame on everybody involved. If he's fully healthy and he didn't play yesterday.
You know what the sad part is? I really think that's what it is.
If they just gave him a day off?
If they just gave him a day. Because wouldn't you be running to the podium to tell people?
I know I would. I know if he was banged up and that's the reason why he wasn't in the lineup, I would go out of my way to say, listen, I know what you're all thinking. I know that you saw the lineup card come out today, and I know that you think I'm absolutely insane, that you think I've lost my mind, and I don't know what I'm doing here as a manager. But let me just stop you right there. I saw how well the kid played last night. I wanted him in the lineup today. He came in, was complaining about his back, his ankle, his hand. I don't know what could be going on. Just pick something. And we said, you know what? I don't want to put him out there compromised and ruin the good vibes coming out of that game. So we said, you know what? We've got an extra day. We've got him available as a pinch hitter if we need him. But we're going to give him the day. And we expect that he's going to, with these 2 days off, be back in there on Friday. Because you know what? I'm excited. I'm just as excited as all of you are after what we saw 2 nights ago to go out there and see him play again on Friday to start building some momentum. That's what I would do if I was the manager. And I didn't give away state secrets. I didn't say anything that ruined my game plan for the day. He's not an everyday starter as it is with the way that you've treated him. So he's a player that's going to be in and out of the lineup in general. So it's not like by revealing to everybody that he's hurt that you've ruined some master game plan that you've had against the Texas Rangers yesterday. You were honest with the media. You told them what was going on. You had some fun with them and said, listen, I get it. I want him in there too. I'm not stupid. I saw how well he played last night. I want him out there. Something came up. We're hoping to have him back in the lineup on Friday. That's it. It's an interaction that takes maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. You nip it in the bud. Everybody moves on. I see a quote about it on social media. Everything's good. We move on, and we don't spend 2 segments on it like we've had the last couple of days. That's all I needed. Yet he didn't play yesterday. Didn't hear a peep. Now it's an off day. Not going to hear a peep today. Now, what should I infer if he's not in the lineup on Friday? Should I infer? See, this is why not getting out in front of this is a problem. When that lineup comes out, if we don't know anything, if they haven't said anything one way or the other, should I infer that he's hurt? Or should I infer that the manager doesn't know what he's doing? Which of the two things should I infer? I shouldn't have to infer either of them because you could just tell me. You could just tell me what's going on. I continue to be baffled by this. I continue to be confused by why this is the choice that this team is making if he is fully healthy. Or if he's hurt, why they haven't said anything. Now, again, I'm going to give myself a little carve out here. Maybe I missed something. And if I did, I apologize, take back everything that I've said. And if he's hurt, then it makes sense. But I just don't know why I haven't seen a quote. When I look up Jordan Lawlar's name on social media, I don't see a quote from anybody who covers this team saying that. So that leads me to believe manager doesn't know what he's doing. That leads me to believe manager saw a kid have a good game, said, you know what, righty on right, we're going to play the matchups, and we're going to sit him down. Just makes no sense to me. Challenge him. Build his confidence. Show the confidence in him while also challenging him. It felt like the perfect opportunity to get him at bats right on right if he was healthy. He just had a good game the night before. So now you can challenge him and not feel like it's going to break his confidence because he just had a good game the night prior. I just don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't know why. I feel like I'm the person that's making the big deal out of this, and nobody else is. Nobody else is talking about this. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream where you can hang out and chat away with us over there as well. When we come back, what do the computers say about the Cardinals' chances this season? We'll tell you next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Kick off your weekend with Rising, rivals and unbeatable deals. Phoenix Rising takes on Las Vegas Lights FC on Friday, September 5th at 7:30 p.m. And $1 beers are flowing all night long. This is the match fans wait for. High energy, big moments, and a crowd that brings the heat. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Friday Night Lights, fierce rivalry, cold drinks. Don't miss it.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pileup. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
Every day begins with the promise of something new. A new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The wait is over. The NFL season officially kicks off tonight with the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles hosting the forever in the headlines Cowboys. Been a long off season without meaningful football, and while we've spent months dissecting rosters, mock drafts, and depth charts, the truth is simple. Nobody really knows what's about to happen. Last year proved that as well as any. Few believed in the Broncos, and they made the playoffs. Bo Nix, a potential franchise star. Great defense. The Commanders shocked the league by storming to the NFC Championship. Meanwhile, the mighty San Francisco 49ers fell apart, stumbling to a stunning 6-11 record. Surprises happen. They always do. That's the beauty of opening night. A new year brings new hope. And for Dallas, a chance to put the offseason drama behind them. And for Philadelphia, it's about defending the crown. As for everybody else, the first page of the first chapter of what promises to be another wild NFL season. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The problem with most security systems is they only take action once somebody breaks in. That's too late. Simply Safe is different. It's designed to be proactive, not reactive. With Active Guard outdoor protection, smart AI-powered cameras identify threats lurking and immediately alert monitoring agents. Get 50% off your new Simply Safe system at simplysafedan.com. Visit simplysafedan.com. Be proactive, not reactive. And remember, there is no safe like Simply Safe.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
You know the drill. You know how much on this program we love computers.
I'm a huge nerd.
We love numbers. We love getting nerdy on everybody. So what do the computers have to say about the Cardinals and their chances here in this upcoming season? Well, you're in luck, everybody, because I have that answer. ESPN simulated the 2025 NFL season. And you know how many times they simulated the 2025 NFL season? They did it a bunch of times. How about this? How about this quote from this ESPN story? Quote, that's what we're doing here. We're detailing the story of a single simulation from ESPN's Football Power Index, which normally uses 10,000 simulations to build its projections. To be clear, this is not my prediction or ESPN's analytics prediction of how the season will unfold. This is simply simulation number 4091. So they picked one of their random simulations of the 10,000 that they run. And you know what this simulation had, everybody? It had both the Eagles and Chiefs missing the postseason. It had Mike Tomlin having his first losing record. It had the Broncos winning the AFC West. It had the Cowboys winning the NFC East. It had the Colts winning the South, the Titans earning a wild card bid, the Ravens beating the Bengals for the AFC North. The Saints get the number one overall pick. The 7-seeded Bucks go on an unlikely Super Bowl run. And the one thing I didn't mention as part of simulation number 4091, not only do the Cardinals play in the postseason, but they win a playoff game. Quote, with all the surprise NFC playoff misses, spots were available, and the Cardinals were one of the upstarts that took advantage. Arizona had a good but not great 9-8 season in which quarterback Kyler Murray played quite well. Wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. took a small step forward, and the defense was mediocre. That was enough for a wild card berth, and the Cardinals made some noise. Arizona routed the NFC South champion Falcons 35-14. Playoff Josh Sweat sacked Michael Penix Jr. multiple times, while Kyler Murray threw 2 touchdown passes to Zay Jones. Cardinals didn't carry that momentum into their divisional round matchup with the Vikings, losing 28-22 when their attempted game-winning drive stalled out in the final minute. So why do I bring this to your attention today on the show? It's because I think this is how it's going to break down, that both the Chiefs and the Eagles missed the postseason, and Saints are going to get the number 1 pick, and the Titans are going to make the playoffs. No, I don't believe in a lot of this. We made our predictions yesterday. But it just goes to show you that I do think there are different ways for the Cardinals to make the postseason. In this example, they go 9-8 and get there. I think 10-7, 11-6, certainly on the table for what this team could be able to accomplish this season. I bring this to your attention to kind of piggyback off of our hour 1 conversation about how bad a week 1 loss would be. The reason why I bring this simulation, this ESPN story to your attention today, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because put yourself in positions like this. As a team, put yourself in a position to where you can take advantage if you go 9-8 and everybody else around you struggles more than maybe we think. Don't lose week 1 to the Saints or week 2 to the Panthers and take away your chance of capitalizing on a weaker NFC than maybe we expect. What if Producer Evan can cover his ears if he would like? What if the Eagles do struggle? What if the Lions take a step backwards with their 2 new coordinators? What if the Packers aren't as good as I think they are? What if the Vikings struggle in year 1 of J.J. McCarthy? What if the Bears, year 1 under Ben Johnson, is better but not great? All of that could be possible in the same season. What if San Francisco has too many holes on their offense? Christian McCaffrey's health is always a question mark. They paid Brock Purdy. What if he doesn't take that next step? What do they really have defensively? What if Seattle made the wrong choice with Sam Darnold? What if Matt Stafford misses a handful of games? Guess what? All of those things are possible, and all of those things can be taken advantage of if the Cardinals are in a position to do so. The Cardinals need to start creating their own luck. Create your own set of circumstances to where you can take advantage of simulation number 4091. And you know how you do that? You don't lose week 1 to New Orleans. You don't lose week 2 against Carolina at home. You go 4-2, 5-1 in the nice stretch to start the year so that you can take advantage of all the things that I just mentioned. What if Washington? Producer Evan loves to throw this stat at me. Anytime we talk Washington, loves to say, oldest roster in the league. Loves to point that out, how old they are as a team. What if that comes back and backfires on them?
I just think eventually it has to, right? Like, and not from a talent perspective, but from an injury perspective.
Put yourself in a position to take advantage of that. Create your own luck. I'm tired of hearing about, that's just the way it goes for the Cardinals, or, just another season where things don't go our way. You need to create your own luck. Take it so that you can take advantage of scenarios like simulation number 4091 of the 10,000 simulations that ESPN ran here. You want to be a playoff team? Go be a playoff team. You want to win the division? Go win the division. Go do it. You've got a schedule that allows you to go do it. You've got an early part of your season that can allow you, where if somebody struggles, if somebody stumbles out of the gate to start the year, you have a stretch of your schedule to take advantage. Think about the 100 meter in the Olympics. The favorite can stumble out of the block. And if you get a good jump and you get a good start, it doesn't matter that they're the better runner than you. It doesn't matter that you might not be the best runner in the field. It matters that you got off to the better start. It matters that you've created a distance that even though they're the best runner on the planet, they can't close that gap. That's what the Cardinals have to start this season. They have a schedule. They have an opening set of games that if the favorite, if the best runner on the track stumbles, trips, falls, doesn't get a clean break, when the starter fires the starter pistol and the Cardinals do get off to a good jump, Doesn't matter how talented Seattle is. Doesn't matter how talented San Francisco is. Doesn't matter how talented LA is. If you get off to the start that you're supposed to get off to, it doesn't matter. So go do it. Go create your own luck. That's my message right now. Go create your own luck. I don't want to hear about how things always go against the Cardinals. Just change it. You've got the coach, you've got the GM, you've got the roster. Just go do it. And this is why we spent so much time in hour number 1 of the program. And if you missed it, go listen back to the conversation that we had in the podcast feed. But we said how bad a week 1 loss would be, because that means you didn't capitalize. That means you didn't get off to the good start. That means you confirmed some people's suspicions about how good of a football team you could be this year. You know what happened last year? The Bengals lost week 1 to the Patriots. You know who took advantage? Everybody else in the AFC that made the playoffs. The Broncos made the postseason last year in many ways because the Bengals lost week 1 to the Patriots. The Broncos, with a rookie quarterback, took advantage of that situation. If the Bengals win week 1, Broncos can't take advantage of that situation. You want to make the postseason? Want to be a playoff team? You want to maybe host a playoff game? Go take advantage of the early part of your schedule. Go put yourself in a position where you're not worried about what everybody else does. But when you get off to a good start and they don't, now they're worried about you. You're not worried about them. They're worried about you. And they're talking in LA, in Seattle, in San Francisco. Hey, we got to catch Arizona. They got off to a great start. They're 5-1.
You have the schedule to do so. And these other teams don't have the schedule to take advantage of like the Cardinals do.
You have an opportunity. Take advantage of it. And even if they match you game for game, even if they do exactly what you do, you get pace and you stay close and you make sure you're there if they slip up. But you can't do that if you don't start strong. And so that's the reason why I brought this to the table, because it has the Cardinals not only going to the postseason, but winning a playoff game. And they have them doing it going 9-8. And you know what? There may be a world where they go 9-8 this year and they make the postseason. There's also a world where they go 10-7 and they might make the postseason. 11-6 will make the postseason. There are different pathways to get there, but the Cardinals have to put themselves in position for those pathways to even be realistic. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is the week 1, pre-week 1 power rankings in the NFL. How do I see the top 8 teams stacking up as this year kicks off? I'll tell you next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
This is Ron. I'm the president of Alaskan AC. Our main job is keeping you comfortable, and we hope that puts a smile on your face. But we recently met someone we just made smile just by being on the radio.
I giggle every time I hear you guys come on. My daughter laughs at me because I can hear the jingle start and I immediately turn the volume up.
That's our new friend, Charisse. Not a customer, just somebody who needed a laugh, and we just happened by.
My husband passed away 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago. I fell into a very dark depression. You guys make me so happy, so I can't say thank you enough. I really, truly can't.
That's awesome. No matter how we made you happy, we just want to say thanks. You're the reason we've been keeping Arizona chill since 1972.
The Grizz cracks me up, and I've actually repeated it to people because some of them don't know who you guys are. Mm-hmm. So I have to say, you have to listen to them. They're so funny.
Reach out anytime at alaskanac.com.
Alice Cooper.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of shock rock. Alice Cooper, October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and knows CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a water watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
Wendy's has a huge new drink lineup. And you know what goes great with your to-do list? A little treat. And we've got one for everything on that list. The have-to-do stuff? You need a Frosty Frappe. The want-to-do stuff? Obviously a Tangerine Twist Lemon Freeze. The stuff that's been on your list for like a year? That's going to be a Sparkling Energy. And maybe a reality check? Giving your to-do list a to-drink list? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Sparkling Energy with caffeine.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Fries, fresh for everyone.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Before I give the first power rankings of 2025 here on the show, our good friend Brian has called in, wants to talk a little Jordan Lawlar. So, Brian, go ahead. What do you got on Jordan Lawlar, who, again, still not in the lineup? Diamondbacks aren't playing today, not in the lineup today as well.
Hey, Chris, I just wanted to offer my support. You're not crazy with this Lawlar story. This is a big story. It should be a big story. Takes me back to Chicago after the World Series. Joe Madden started setting lineups for a 4-game series. He would set the lineup. So a guy would hit 2 home runs on one day and be out of lineup the next day. Started driving fans crazy. Would stop scoring runs. But in Chicago, you had beat writers. You had a passionate fan base. Here, it doesn't make a blip in the news. Torey Lovullo should thank his lucky stars that he's in this market, because he would not survive 8 or 9 years with his record. And you watch, they're going to bring him back next year. They're going to say he didn't get a fair shake this year with all the injuries, blah, blah, blah. So with all that said, keep on holding everyone's feet to the fire. We'll drag this market into big boy status eventually.
Well, thank you, Brian. Appreciate the call. And I agree with what you're saying there, that managers can kind of overmanage and plan things out too much in advance, right? And I get that. I understand a manager wanting to do that in the middle of a season when you're still trying to go for it and you're managing a lot of big superstars and you want to make sure that they're available for you in August and September. I can understand kind of planning things out, even though it may seem weird that a guy has 2 home runs the day prior and now all of a sudden he's not in the lineup. I can actually wrap my head around, we're trying to compete for something. I need Cody Bellinger. I need Chris Bryant. I need these guys available to me late in September. So I know he had a good game last night, but I'm gonna sit him today because we're in the middle of a stretch of 15 games in 16 days or whatever it is. I can wrap my head around that. I can't wrap my head around using that logic when you're below 500. It's September. I'm not waiting for some future scenario 3 months down the road. I've got 20 some odd games left, and I've got a young player. Every at bat matters for him. So he just needs to play. And I hope he's in the lineup again on Friday. Okay, week 1 NFL Power Rankings. The way we're going to do this, every week, every Thursday, I will give you where I see the league right now. 5 teams that make the top 5, 3 teams that are the HMs. And a reminder, the HMs are in no particular order. They are just the first 3 teams that could potentially jump in there if the situation arises. My 3 HMs going into 2025, first Power Rankings of the year. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They were one of my HMs.
I wanted very strongly to get them into the top 5. I couldn't do it. Couldn't find the path. Couldn't see the team I wanted to take out. And the team that I considered taking out, we would be here for days discussing why I took that team out. It would just be outlandish to take them out. Baker Mayfield could be a top 5 quarterback right now in the league. Right now, could be a top 5 quarterback. Could make that argument. I didn't have him there. Could have made him an HM yesterday when we did the list. Very easily could be good defense, good talent on offense, coached really well, going to have a nice cakewalk to win that division. Very easily could have them in there. I didn't. I just don't know. Evans a year older. Can Baker have that follow-up year, right? There is still a little bit of a question mark surrounding him. Kept him on the outside.
I do think huge plus for Baker, right? 2 years ago, they lose the offensive coordinator. Still showed it last year. Does make you a little bit more confident. I think they are a slam dunk HM.
Hope everybody's sitting down. Got the Detroit Lions as an HM. Not in my top 5.
So do I.
Got a lot of questions about this coaching staff. Not Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell's a very good coach. I'll defend Dan Campbell and all of his decisions till the end of time. I love Dan Campbell as a coach. But you've changed both coordinators in one offseason. Those are big losses. Those are 2 very good coordinators that are now going to go be head coaches someplace else. It's going to take time. Remember I just talked about somebody stumbling out of the gates and the Cardinals taking advantage? The Lions could stumble out of the gates. They could very easily struggle because there's just a lot of new. Still think they're talented. Could easily win that division, but I have them on the outside looking in. And then my third HM, and it's mainly because I got to see a defense that can stop somebody. I got the Cincinnati Bengals as an HM. Offensively, they're a top 5 team. Defensively, they might be a bottom 5 team. And until I see that defense move just ever so slightly towards the middle of the road, it's hard for me to take them seriously as a top 5 team. Number 5, they got Micah Parsons. They've got Jordan Love. Got a great coach. I think they're the favorites to win the division. I thought before they got Micah Parsons. Now they've added Micah Parsons. Give me the Green Bay Packers at number 5. I think a full year of Jordan Love. I think Micah Parsons' impact on that defense is going to make everybody around them better, right? They got Edge Cooper, who I think is going to just be fantastic next to Micah Parsons. I think that defense is going to feast all year, going to be able to really stifle opponents. Not going to have Jordan Love need to put up 35, 40 points a game. I think he's going to be better. I'm in on the Green Bay Packers this year. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Number 4, have to put him there until further notice. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. This was the team I wanted to take out because I don't think they're the team they were 2 years ago. They did not play well last year. They got to the Super Bowl not playing well.
It's funny how similarly we see this. I had the Packers at 5. I have Kansas City at 4. And you're right. Just based on what they've done, I have to have them in there. I'm just not a huge believer in where that team is headed.
I'll tell you right now, first opportunity they give me to remove them from the list, they're out of there.
I mean, if they lose this week,
they're out. You lose to the Chargers tomorrow night, and Chargers, I think, are a solid football team. You lose to the Chargers, guess what? Kansas City, not going to be in the top 5 next week. Taking you out. Just I dare you, give me a reason. I dare you to give me a reason to remove you.
I stand by this. When you get smashed in a Super Bowl like that, it is hard to come back.
Now,
it really is.
It is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and so that respect level gets them on the list. Number 3, this is just a regular season list. Postseason stuff doesn't matter. Buffalo's better than Kansas City.
I agree.
Buffalo is the better offensive team. Buffalo has the quarterback that is playing better right now. Buffalo has the better running game. Buffalo might have the better supporting cast around their quarterback. Defensively, you know what you're going to get from Buffalo. I expect a big year from them. I have them at number 3. Number 2, you're the defending Super Bowl champs. You have to be in the top 5. You haven't played a game yet this year. I have to give you at least a little bit of respect. I have the Philadelphia Eagles number 2 on this list. Jalen Hurts, how does he follow up a Super Bowl championship? Team has all the same talent across the board, even better in some areas. Saquon Barkley still in that backfield. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith still going to be making plays. Offensively, they're going to be just as good. Offensive line, doesn't matter who's in there, who's not in there. They just have guys on the bench who can come in and be just as good as the guys that they have starting. They win in the trenches. Tush push is still on the menu. They didn't ban that thing. Eagles, number 2. Number 1, my Super Bowl pick. I think they're the overall, all-around, best team in the sport. Offensively, I think they're the best offense. Defensively, I don't think they get enough love, and they're not talked about. I think their coach doesn't get mentioned enough. I have the Baltimore Ravens number 1.
I mean, we were very similar. The only thing I flipped, I had Eagles at 2. I had Eagles at 1, Baltimore at 2, but that's a coin flip. And the other one I will tell you that I had in as an HM was Denver. And I didn't have Cincinnati in there. I had Denver in there for the very flipped reason of Cincinnati. I think the Denver defense doesn't get talked about enough.
No,
they're
good.
So good.
Are you going to be able to score?
Are you going to be able to get stops in Cincinnati? Right. So it's
Fair
a
enough.
flipped
Fair
question.
Enough. And if after week 1, the Bengals defense is still a problem and the Broncos show me a little bit more offensively, you know what? They could very easily swap places. But outside of the top 4 or 5 teams, I think it's wide open. You can make a case for the Texans to be in here. Even though they were coming off of a down year, I like a lot about what they're doing down there. You could pick Houston. You could put them on this list. You could put the Rams if Stafford is healthy as an HM. That's a big question mark for me. I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do with that. So that's where things stand for me going into week 1 of the regular season. We'll see if the games this Sunday or starting tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, lots of football here. Football is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. Starts tonight. Cowboys, Eagles. We already have one play in the books. Producer Evan using his 2-point play, Eagles -8.5. I have until the end of the show to make a decision on whether or not I am joining him. Now, I could play a little defense and take – because if I was going to make a play, it would be the Eagles. I could take the Eagles and also make them my 2-point play and box him out. Play a little defense early. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. I think I'm going to try to play above the belt. I'm going to try to play fair.
I will be honest with you. I don't love the 8.5-point spread.
It's a big number.
It's a big number for the first game of the year. Just looking at the other numbers, though, there's a lot of bad spreads this week.
I found some numbers that I like, but a lot that I'm like, I will not be taking.
I don't want to touch that.
Steelers, Jets, I'm leaving it alone.
And it's even if the Eagles weren't I was going to have them probably as my 1-point play. That's where I was sitting on driving in. And then the excitement of it all.
You're like,
as
give me
2-point play, locked it in. And I just feel like that a 1-point play, if they win, I get off to an okay start, a 2-point play. They win.
You're off to a good start.
I'm off to a great start.
And remember last year, this is different for me because last year it was just me making picks. And so I made 6 of them. I had a 6-point play, a 5-point play, a 4-point play, 3-point play, 2-point play, 1-point play. So now, for those of you that were with us last year, my 3-point play is now what would have normally been my 6-point play. My 6, 5, and 4 are now my 3, 2, and 1 because I can just take away all the bad ones. I just feel like making 6 picks between the two of us is just a lot. So I cut it in half, 3 and 3, and
I think that's fair.
If we have different picks, and it's like a Schubert 6. It's like me making 6 selections. The leftovers, when we come back, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program, and I'll decide if I'm making a pick for tonight's game. All of that when we come back. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Denny's has 5 slams starting at $5, like the 2-egg breakfast slam. Great deals on full meals like the Super Slam. That's slamming smart. 5 slams starting at $5. And now earn booth bucks with Denny's rewards. Find your booth at Denny's. Valid at participating restaurants and on Denny's.com for a limited time. Restrictions and surcharges apply.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarter. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, wrapping things up, Thursday edition of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. We know you got choices. We know there's other places you could be listening to talk sports. We are very much appreciative that you pick us, and we are very excited to be embarking on football season with all of you. Lots of fun. Just to let you know what's coming up on tomorrow's show, we're going to have the NFL look ahead. We're going to go through all of the games. We'll recap last night, or what will be last night's game between the Cowboys and the Eagles that ends up being tonight. We'll do our pick segment. We'll give you our final thoughts on Cardinals Saints. We'll give you final thoughts on ASU Mississippi State. I mean, we will have all of it covered for you here football-wise on tomorrow's show. So join us, hang out with us, have some fun. In the meantime, it is the leftovers, all the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan, what is on the docket today?
Okay, I got a fun one.
Okay.
You know,
I could use a fun one today.
You love a draft redo. Those are your favorite things in media.
I can't tell you what I love more than please do not tell me. Please do not tell me.
And there's nothing you love more than a draft redo than a way too early 2026 NFL mock draft.
I love those. What I hate is I hate draft redos. I especially hate the draft redos of the draft that just happened before anybody's played. Those are my least favorite of the draft redos.
You love those.
Hate them. But love a good wait. There's no such thing as a way too early mock draft in my mind. What's on there? Where's Jordan Tyson? Where's Sam Levitt?
Yep. So I want to get into that. I'm going to give you the top 5. I also think this is always interesting to see. This is from Bleacher Report, by the way.
Okay.
To see where they have and who they have picking.
Well, they're probably doing it with reverse Super Bowl odds, would be my guess.
I imagine. The New Orleans Saints will be picking first, and they will be taking quarterback Lenora Sellers out of South Carolina.
Not taking Archie Manning.
No. One game, they said
One game, we were out.
Cleveland has the second pick. They'll take Reuben Bain Jr., Miami edge rusher.
Okay. Pass rush. Get some help up front.
Number 3 is your New York Jets.
Okay.
Quarterback, Arch Manning.
Really? They got Arch Manning going to the Jets at number 2. Or number 3.
Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a very Jets thing. They'd screw that up big time.
Tennessee at 4, taking Caleb Downs. Indianapolis Colts at 5, taking quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. 6 is the Carolina Panthers. They're going to take Peter Woods out of Clemson.
Okay.
Number 7, the Las Vegas Raiders, looking for some help on the outside, taking yours truly, Jordan Tyson.
So Jordan Tyson making it into the top 10. He's number 7 overall, going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Wow.
You want me to just finish out the top 10?
Sure.
8 is the New York Giants taking Spencer Fano, Utah offensive tackle. Miami Dolphins are taking cornerback Jermod McCoy.
Okay.
Out of Tennessee. The Browns via Jacksonville.
So that's the pick from the Travis
I'm
Hunter
going to
trade.
take Caden Proctor, who's the
Okay.
Alabama tackle.
Okay.
And I'm going to look to see if I can find
I'm scrolling through it as well. I've got
our
it up
guy.
here. I don't see him.
I don't see him either. By the way, Drew Aller falling all the way to 19.
Yeah, that's probably not good for those of us who think that Sam Levitt could be a first-round quarterback. I'm scrolling. You know what I'm not seeing?
I'm not seeing
Sam Levitt.
Sam Levitt. I still think Sam Levitt could be a first-round
He
quarterback.
certainly could be, but he is not here. He did not make the
What,
week.
what haven't they seen out of this guy? What do they need to see?
I mean, we would both agree that last Saturday wasn't great. We would both agree that we left a lot to be desired on Saturday.
Sure. I get it. Did you see this, by the way? Anthony Richardson's agent said that the Colts GM reportedly approached the idea of trading Anthony Richardson.
I don't know who would want him, but sure.
You wouldn't take him? They drafted him 4th overall 2 years ago.
I know, but if you trade for him, aren't you going to want to see him play? And I just don't know if you can play him right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you probably can't play him, but if you're the New Orleans Saints,
what are they asking for?
I don't know. They didn't even say that.
Shout out to Peter joining us over on YouTube. That feels like a new name over there. And he says that Sellers feels like a Saints quarterback. He does. He's physical. He plays in the South, right? Plays in the SEC.
He gets to play in a dome.
Right. And so I'm sure a lot of the Saints fans who watch SEC football are going to be familiar with him. So they'll love him right away.
Michigan, Oklahoma this weekend. Speaking of SEC, Big Ten matchup. That's a big one.
Say that one more time.
Michigan plays Oklahoma this
Michigan
weekend?
plays Oklahoma. Okay. I think you said Miami at first. And when you said SEC Big Ten, I was very confused.
Oh.
But maybe you said Michigan and I heard Miami in my head.
My bad.
I don't know whose bad it is. It could be my bad. The tape will tell.
NFL All 22. Fox built their favorite roster. I don't really know how they did this. In
That's
a
always good.
star-studded league, these players will shine the brightest. With all 22 coaches' tapes and a stat sheet utilizes my primary evaluation tools here. This is my preseason NFL All-Pro team.
Okay.
On the offensive side.
Okay.
For the quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Running back, Josh Jacobs.
I disagree for both.
Yes. 3 receivers, Jamar Chase.
I agreed.
Justin Jefferson.
I agree.
I love this next one. I don't think you'll agree, but this is Brian Thomas Jr.
No, you're looking at fantasy football manager that has Brian Thomas Jr.
I have Brian Thomas in multiple leagues.
Yes.
That's my guy.
Yes.
That's my guy. Tight end, Brock Bowers.
I'm good with that.
Offensive tackles are Penny Sewell and Tristan Wirfs.
Both make sense.
Guards, Big Q, Quentin Nelson, and Tyler Smith.
We were fine. I don't know what happened with the quarterback and the running back, but other than that, we're great here.
Center, Creed Humphrey. I don't understand what they did with the quarterback and Josh Jacobs. I can't understand that.
Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Pick any of those
It's
four
just not that
quarterbacks.
hard.
You pick one of those four and you're fine.
It's just not that hard.
Just don't pick Jane Daniels.
Okay. Defense.
You've got like 40 seconds, so you got to blast
I got
through
a little
these.
bit more time.
Well, I got to wrap up the show. I got to say goodbye to everybody.
Edge, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt.
And you're not very timely with handing it over to me.
I admittedly, that's
You
something I got to work on.
got to work on it. You're a little bad at it.
And this is why.
This is how we get up against it, right?
Edge, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. Defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, Dexter Lawrence. Linebackers, Micah Parsons and Roquan Smith. Cornerbacks, Surtain and Stingley. Star, Jalen Ramsey. Safeties, Xavier McKinney and Kyle Hamilton.
I'm good with all of those.
I really am.
I don't know what happened with quarterback and running back.
And again, I'm probably more confused about Jacobs than I am about Jaden.
Right. Jaden, I think, was QB5 for me, so at least I can. But Josh Jacobs? Yeah. Christian
And
McCaffrey,
I like Jacobs.
Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry.
I like Jacobs a lot.
But I don't,
Gibbs.
Yeah. I don't like him that much. I don't like him enough to pick him over all those other guys to be the All-Pro. All right, so some All-Pro predictions. We will not be doing that on tomorrow's show. We will not be predicting the All-Pros. Our predictions are done. Although producer Evan wanted to do a power rankings today of all 32 teams. I before the show, I was like, hey, we're doing the power rankings today. He's like, all 32? No, not all 32. It'll take up all 2 hours of the show if we were doing all 32. What's wrong with you? That's going to do it for us here on the Thursday edition of the show. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, just keep being you. Thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the football game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow to get you ready for all the week 1 action. See ya!